Days of Our Lives spoilers for the December 18, 2024, episode promise a whirlwind of emotions, heartfelt reunions, and an air of mystery that will keep Salem buzzing just in time for the holidays. From lingering feelings to long-awaited family gatherings, this episode has all the makings of a December to remember. For Gabby Hernandez, life after her divorce from DiMera has been anything but smooth sailing. Still reeling from the dissolution of her marriage, Gabby finds herself distracted, and her distraction comes in the form of an old flame. Enter J.J. Devereaux. Though their relationship may feel like a thing of the past, unresolved emotions have a funny way of resurfacing when you least expect them. When Gabby crosses paths with J.J., what begins as a simple moment of connection quickly takes on an unmistakable weight. A seemingly innocent hug carries lingering sparks, and an intense gaze shared between the two could set the stage for something much more. Are old feelings about to reignite, or is Gabby simply searching for comfort in familiar arms? Meanwhile, the Green family is finally coming together after months of turmoil and distance. With Clyde Weston no longer looming as a threat and Kat Green safely back from Vancouver, Salem is about to witness a reunion that's been long overdue. Kat's first priority? Her siblings, of course. Aaron Green, who has spent weeks drowning in worry for his sister's safety, will feel a massive weight lifted when he lays eyes on Kat again. Relief turns to quiet joy as the two siblings share a heartfelt embrace, both visibly grateful that the worst is finally behind them, or so they hope. But it's Kat's reunion with Felicity that brings the real emotional fireworks. Felicity's initial reaction is one of pure shock. After all, seeing her sister standing in front of her feels almost unreal. But the disbelief quickly gives way to warmth and affection as the two share a tearful hug. In a touching moment of sisterly solidarity, they promise to mend their bond, punctuating their vow with a nostalgic exchange of pinky promises. Years of pain and separation feel like they're finally starting to melt away as the Green sisters rediscover what it means to lean on each other. As the Greens continue to gather at Horton Square for what promises to be a family-centered Christmas celebration, Mark Green also makes his much-anticipated arrival. The sight of Kat, Felicity, and Aaron together is enough to give him hope that brighter days are ahead. For a brief moment, it seems like the Greens are on the road to healing, and this holiday will be one to remember for all the right reasons. But just as the family begins to bask in their reunion, an ominous presence threatens to shake things up. All eyes turn as a mysterious woman steps out of the shadows and approaches the Greens. Her expression is unreadable, her intentions unclear. Who is she? What does she want with the family? And could her arrival signal the start of yet another storm for the Greens just as they were finding peace? The Days of Our Lives episode set to air on Wednesday, December 18th, promises to deliver an emotional roller coaster that will leave fans on the edge of their seats. DiMera, who has been living in the purgatory of grief since the disappearance and presumed death of his beloved wife, Abigail, is at a critical breaking point. While he has long since accepted the heart-wrenching belief that Abigail is gone, Chad's desperation to uncover the truth and bring her home, even if it's only her body, has driven him to extreme lengths. But just when he comes close to the answers he's been seeking, the rug is pulled out from under him in a moment of shocking violence and devastating uncertainty. For weeks now, Chad has been chasing down every loose end, no matter how dangerous or slim the lead may be. His search has led him straight into the seedy, dangerous territory of Clyde Weston, James Reed, the notorious criminal who seems to have an uncanny knowledge of Salem's darkest secrets. Clyde, of course, doesn't offer anything for free. The man thrives on manipulation, and Chad, who would sell his soul for the answers he so desperately craves, has no choice but to play Clyde's game. The tension in Wednesday's episode reaches a fever pitch as Clyde finally gives Chad a glimmer of hope. He knows what happened to Abigail, and he knows where she is. After months of heartbreak and hopelessness, Chad sees the light at the end of a very dark tunnel. Could this be the moment that provides closure? The moment Chad can finally give Abigail the peace she deserves? The moment he can begin to move forward? Unfortunately, in classic Days of Our Lives fashion, peace is fleeting, and nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Just as Clyde is about to drop the bombshell that could change everything, chaos erupts. Bursting onto the scene with shocking force, a new player enters the fray, Katharina. Her entrance isn't subtle. Before Chad can even process what's happening, Katharina pulls a gun and fires a shot that hits Clyde square in the chest. The room descends into panic. Clyde crumples to the ground, knocked unconscious and bleeding out before he can spill the truth. The moment is a gut punch. Clyde, the man holding the key to Abigail's fate, is now incapacitated, and Chad's hopes are ripped away just as quickly as they appeared. The answers he's sought for so long are tantalizingly close yet cruelly out of reach. Katharina's motivations remain shrouded in mystery. Was she sent to silence Clyde before he revealed too much? Is she part of a larger, more sinister plot connected to Abigail's disappearance? Or is she acting on her own accord, with an agenda all her own? For now, Chad has no time to contemplate the whys or hows. He's left staring at Clyde's unmoving body and the mess of his shattered hope. With no choice but to walk away empty-handed, Chad faces an impossible task, breaking the news to Jennifer and Jack. For Chad, the weight of failure is unbearable. He knows how much Jennifer and Jack have been clinging to the same thin strand of hope that has kept him going. Now, he must look Abigail's grieving parents in the eye and admit that the truth they were so close to finding has slipped away, for now. The scene between Chad, Jennifer, and Jack is sure to be heartbreaking. Jack, a man who has fought so hard to remain strong for his family, will struggle to keep his composure as yet another chance to find his daughter is torn away. Jennifer, still raw and fragile from losing Abigail, will undoubtedly be rocked to her core. Chad, meanwhile, will shoulder the burden of guilt, feeling as though he has failed his wife and everyone who loved her. For a man who already carries so much grief and anger, this setback will feel like the final blow. Of course, Days of Our Lives fans know better than to take everything at face value. After all, this is a soap opera, and in the soap world, not knowing where someone's body is can often be the very best news of all. How many times have characters been presumed dead, only to return alive and well? Chad may see this moment as the end of his search, but in reality, it's only the beginning of a much larger mystery. Clyde may be down, but he's not out for good, and when he wakes up, he could still hold the answers Chad so desperately needs. As for Katharina, her shocking entrance raises far more questions than it answers, and you can bet that she will play a major role in whatever twist comes next. For now, Chad, Jennifer, and Jack must grieve this latest disappointment, but fans know better than to give up hope. Abigail's story is far from over, and the fact that her fate remains a mystery is a tantalizing clue that she could very well still be alive. Wednesday's episode will leave fans with far more questions than answers. Who is Katharina, and why did she shoot Clyde? Is Abigail truly gone, or is she waiting to be found? How much longer will Chad and his family have to suffer before the truth comes to light? One thing is certain. Salem is never short on surprises, and this shocking turn of events is only the beginning of a much bigger, much more dramatic storyline. For fans holding out hope that Abigail could one day return, this latest twist may just be the sign they've been waiting for. Stay tuned, the drama is only just getting started.